Get ready for a thrilling and intense ride. In this video, we've compiled the 35 most shocking and disturbing endings to police chases. From high-speed crashes to dangerous confrontations, these real-life clips will leave you on the edge of your seat. Let's get started. In South Los Angeles, a suspect makes things risky for everyone, and events take a shocking turn.
We're slamming on the brakes and going back onto the shoulder here. There's a parked car. We're going to go onto the sidewalk now. It's going to be hard to see here as we go under a tree. We're going to see that car come back out.
It's a terrifying day as the police chase a black car on the highway. The driver is proving to be troublesome. He weaves around traffic and stops expertly. The car avoids traffic by passing a sidewalk under a tree and comes on the road again. He leaves the cop car behind.
And it looks like we may have had some contact here between the suspect vehicle and that silver Nissan over there on the right side. And it looks like this driver almost in a panic now in a truck.
The car drives straight into another congested road, blocking his path to an easy escape. The cops close in on the car, but a silver mini truck reverses and bumps into the suspect's car. The suspect has been blocked, giving the cops a chance to make an arrest. Many speculate what led to this highway chase. The danger in this is beyond what the cops expected.
So that is at West Florissant and 70. Again, Margie, this is a very dangerous situation, and this is one of the reasons why it is.
The cops chase the suspect in the gray Jeep. It's unknown what caused the chase, but the suspect drives at frightening speed on the highway. The cops try to close in, but they are hesitant to use aggressive means to stop him on the highway.
They're stopping the vehicle right now, right off of Riverview Avenue and I-70. So you can see all the police cars there, and the police are now out of an unmarked car as well as the marked vehicles, and they do have...
The car goes off the highway, veering to the left into a neighborhood. However, the cops are now close enough to stop him. The driver takes the initiative to stop. Immediately, the cop cars fill the area. The driver sticks their hand out of the car in surrender. He gets out of the car, and he is arrested. One of the most disturbing cop chases that many will find hard to explain. This vehicle, shrouded in haze, will chill you to your bones. Cops chase this suspect's car off the road. The suspect's vehicle leaves a trail of smoke obscuring the car. When the cops return to the road, it becomes evident they are chasing a school bus. A dangerous man stole the bus. The cop car drives off the road through a cornfield. Dust fills the air and the bus can't be seen yet. Soon after, the bus appears, driving back on the road. The bus goes off the road again but finally stops. Cops circle the bus and aim at the driver with their guns, ordering him out. They drag him out of the car, arresting him. For minutes, a suspect does the most disturbing things on the highway. Late at night, on this highway, the cops chase a silver car at dangerous speeds, with the wind whistling harshly into the cop's car. The cop car is about to overtake the car, but the suspect blocks their path.
We slow down to 63 in this curve. I'm fixing to try to end it. TBI.
The cop makes contact with the suspect's car, making the suspect's car spin and veer off the road sharply. The suspect stops and the cop asks him to go to the ground. The cop makes a peaceful arrest. While escaping the cop chase, the criminal was not prepared for how things would end. The footage from the cyclist's dash cam shows him riding on a grass field. The police siren is close. The cops are chasing him. He takes a meandering path to confuse the cops. A cop tries to tackle him off his bike. He's too fast to be caught. The cop chases him. He drives off the road again to hinder the cop from chasing him. This path is unfamiliar to him. He rides headlong into a tripwire on the way. He gets off this entangled bike and runs on foot. He runs into the woods and hides, hoping to escape the cop. He rests, tired. He returns to where he lost his bike. As he tries to take his bike, the cop arrives and apprehends him. Something dangerous lies in wait. Neither the suspect nor the cop saw it coming.
Westbound on Corrales Road, now on Oregon Road, northeast. Westbound on Oregon Road, northeast. We got OP.
This police helicopter follows this suspect's car as it escapes. The suspect is driving fast, trying to escape capture for a suspected murder case. At the moment, no cop cars are chasing him on the ground. A cop car begins to chase the suspect. It seems the suspect might have escaped using the winding streets to throw off the cops. The cop is still able to keep up. The suspect stops and the cop parks beside the car. The man leaves his car and is arrested. The cops never expected to chase a suspect hiding inside a disturbing cruiser.
I apologize, Sandra. It's a little difficult to with so many sheriff's vehicles out here to actually nail down which one it is. There's a number, I believe it's 74.
The helicopter follows the police cruiser because it has been stolen. The suspect escapes with the car and drives to a dead end. To not be caught, the suspect drives into a commercial lumberyard, trying to find another exit. The cops are following closely.
All right, looks like we're working out our audio issues from Sky Fox. We have Kevin Takumi, another Fox 11 colleague.
The cop cars circle the cruiser, blocking the suspect's exit. Their method is ineffective as the cruiser escapes again. The suspect escapes through the entrance they took earlier to enter the yard.
They was making a left turn there.
Yep.
So they had to squeeze around. Now we're on a smaller commercial street here.
A cop car tries pinning in the suspect, but the cruiser glides through it. The suspect drives into the cordon prepared by other cops on the scene. There is no escape for the suspect. The biker might have thought himself smart, but his perilous end was smarter. The cops have been chasing this biker for miles. He has successfully evaded the cops for a while now. However, the cops have now encircled the bike on the road. He escapes once again. Tactically, the cops circle the biker on the road again. This time, the encirclement looks tighter. The blue cop car blocks the bike's path, making it hard to overtake the cops again. The biker is knocked off the moving bike, injuring him. They arrest him regardless. The nature of this suspect in this car chase is unbelievable. The police had expected someone else. The cop is on his routine patrol and sees a car with a suspended tag registration. When the cop initiated a traffic stop, the suspect set off. The cop gives chase. The suspect goes over the speed limit to escape the cop.
Show me your motherfucking hands! You stop right there! Do not move! Passenger, get your...
The suspect's car begins to slow down, and it seems one of the car's tires has gone flat. The police stop beside the suspect's car and order him to cop out with his hands up. A teen girl in the passenger seat comes out with her hands up. The driver, also a teenager, exits the car, complying with the cop's directives until he is arrested. many blocks flash by to this giddy suspect, but something special lays at the end of the road for him.
Peachtree Road, northbound, coming up to Osborne.
The suspect is in a blue jumpsuit and riding a bicycle on the highway. He rides directly in the middle of the road, which is not safe. The bicyclist veers off to the sidewalk, and the cop makes a sharp turn to block his path. The suspect evades the cop car, escaping. The cop chases the suspect far from his initial meeting point. The cop keeps a tight space close to the edge of the road, forcing the suspect to ride into the other cop car. A well-coordinated pincer attack. The danger seems low, but the stakes become high as the suspect does something incredible.
10-3, 10-3, someone just hit him into the woods.
Pin him in.
The cops chase a suspect who stole a police car and is using it to escape. They chase the suspect to this woodland, knocking the car off the road. The suspect crashes the car into a tree and flees on foot.
Dog! Let the dog!
The cops search the crash site for the man. Surprisingly, he runs out of the bush close to the cops. He runs to another free cop car to escape in it. A cop stops him, pointing a gun at him. The cop is unable to stop him, and he successfully escapes with the car. The stolen car now has flat tires, and the suspect is forced to stop on the side of the road. Immediately, cops gather around the scene to arrest him. The suspect exits the car, lying on the floor. He is cuffed swiftly. This suspect drives behind a dangerous wheel. The end of this pursuit ends in ways you wouldn't have imagined.
Fairbanks, North Houston, Mike? Okay. Yeah, just to the north of Fairbanks, North Houston, out here on 290 as the car slows. And this is always a dangerous situation.
On a busy highway, a suspect escapes a persistent cop chase at top speed. The suspect's car has lost its left backside tire, yet he keeps driving, despite the danger. The car begins to slow down, allowing the cops to come close. The cops are not too eager to engage with the suspect yet, fearing he might be armed.
Approaching the police. Is that a woman? In a typical fashion, backing up toward them with their hands out. There's another person that's gotten out of the car. Now, I don't know whether that was the driver that slid over out the passenger door.
The car eventually stops. The suspect's passenger comes out with hands in the air in surrender. The first person is cuffed, while the other suspect, probably the driver in black, also gets arrested. Seconds later, the car catches fire. You might imagine firefighters coming to rescue you, but have you stopped to consider who or what is behind the wheel?
We got a unit at the 114, set up spikes.
Temple, sir, and our aircraft should be launching now.
Ahead, a fire truck is driving, but there aren't any firefighters in the truck. Rather, it's a suspect who stole the truck while the firefighters were distracted. The cop car follows the truck, keeping a safe distance. The truck stays ahead of the cops. The suspect drives with the police hot on his trail till they reach a gas station. He parks and jumps out of the car with his hand in the air. A cop forces him to the ground, arresting him as he resists. The suspect is determined to escape no matter what it takes, but is his means good enough? The cops chase a suspect escaping on a motorcycle on the highway. He has eluded them for a while now. They're closing in on the suspect. A cop car bumps into the bike to knock him off. The engagement between them is getting heated. A cop car makes it hard for the suspect to overtake them. The suspect tries weaving around the cop cars, but the lead cop car proves to be his match. Unable to carry out a maneuver, the suspect falls off his bike. He tries escaping on foot, but he won't escape the cops. Engines have a funny way of behaving, and this suspect's engine does the most disturbing thing to them. While on patrol, this cop notices a red car speeding inordinately. Immediately, he follows them. The cop matches their speed to catch up. One of the suspects in the red car is sitting on the window frame, probably recording the chase. The driver blows his engine, trying to distance himself from the cop. This affects the car, and they are forced to stop soon after. The cop orders them to turn off the car and get out. The driver lies on the floor about to be arrested with his accomplice still in the car. The cop chases an eluding suspect, but this chase takes a wrong turn quickly.
675 CENTCOM, we have 2 Acoma units behind us. Can you advise them to only support for traffic control? Slow down.
While the cop patrols the highway, he notices a car switching lanes recklessly and tries to get close to make a traffic stop. The car immediately takes off, almost disappearing. The cop does his best to keep up.
45.
Contacted another vehicle. It's going to be out 89.
89, multiple units calling, multiple units calling.
The suspect has been driving recklessly at ridiculous speeds. He bumps his car into another vehicle on the road. The civilian's car is knocked off the road while the suspect's car flips over. The police approach the car, ordering the suspect out, and they arrest him. The cops close in on the suspect, but what they do next boggles minds. This biker rides at extreme speeds, and when he discovers he's been chased by the cops, he goes faster. He takes a rough terrain to appear on another street in a bid to shake off the cops' chase. He is not able to leave the cops behind. They chase him hotly. A van suddenly appears in his field of view, and a passenger uses pepper spray on him. He has a helmet on which protects his eyes. He swerves around the cop van, escaping. Speed feels glorious to escaping suspects, but the end is not so perfect. A suspect skips a red light, and before the cop can make a traffic stop, the suspect drives away quickly. The cop has to chase him. The car accelerates, ignoring the police siren. The cop steps hard on the accelerator to catch up to the escaping suspect. He sees the suspect's car has crashed into another car and flipped over.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Put your hands behind your back.
The suspect is dragged out of the car and immediately arrested. A bump on the road, and the suspect might just have his worst nightmare on his heels.
Tango Delta Echo 8162. Looks like we're turning right on the last cop before Curtis.
The suspect refused to stop when the cop tried to make a traffic stop. He drives away, forcing the cop to chase. The suspect veers into a neighborhood street, always staying ahead of the cop car, not stopping. The cop bumps into the rear of the mini truck, sending the vehicle spinning off course.
Come on. It's big. So we're only running about 40. There's no traffic.
The road the cars are on is too small for the cop to make a pit maneuver. The cop is waiting for his chance. Successfully, the cop makes another pit maneuver, and the cops block the suspect in a circle. They get him out of his car and arrest him. Snow might look harmless, but when the right cop knows how to use it, then it can prove fatal.
It's the middle of winter in Minnesota, and this officer notices a car with absolutely no license plates on it. Unbeknownst to the deputy, the
cop pulled over the black SUV in a traffic stop. When the cop approaches to interrogate the suspect, he drives away. The cop runs back to his car to chase the suspect. The suspect flees quickly.
All of that is at the end of the video.
Happy with directional color.
Green or gray, Yukon.
The chase continues, and the suspect drives into a backed-up snow-covered ground in a neighborhood. The cop uses the terrain to his advantage, using a pit maneuver to push the SUV into the snow near a house. The suspect shows his hands, surrendering. This disturbing chase leaves the cops stunned as smoke fills the air.
That is correct. We just passed Sheena Road. We are now approaching Noel Bixby.
The suspect flees in his sports car, and the cop chases him at bewildering speed. The cop almost closes in on the car, noticing the car's side tires are faulty. The suspect's car is now smoking from the tires as he keeps up his speed, driving recklessly.
We're still eastbound on 33, probably about a half mile from east Ebright.
The car can't go at such high speeds again, else he risks getting into an accident. He slows down and parks off the road. He tries fleeing again, but the cops pin his car down. He comes out of the car and is arrested. Where this suspect runs to get away from the police chase genuinely surprises the cops. On a busy highway, a biker rides at perilous speeds. He had fled a traffic stop. A police helicopter is tracking his movement. The biker gets off the road, dumping his bike and rode on foot. The suspect runs to another highway and jumps the fence to get to the other street. He lies on the grass, calling someone with his phone. The cop cars arrive quickly to capture him. Knowing he can't run anymore, he surrenders himself for arrest. No place is safe when you're being chased. The shock of this proves fatal for the suspect.
Continuing westbound on Sherman Way and...
The cops are chasing this motorcyclist. The cops believe he is armed and dangerous. They keep their distance, following slowly. The bike speeds up and makes a U-turn, taunting all the cops chasing him. He flees without haste.
By Cohasset here now, he's going to go right through some crime scene tape. This is the area where there's a standoff going on with a suspect.
The biker rides all the way to presumably what should be his house. The cops surround him, shooting him with a taser. Unarmed, they arrest him. With all routes blocked, the suspect makes a desperate shot at freedom. The cost might be high. The cops chase a suspect fleeing in a dark gray SUV through a deserted road. The helicopter tracking his movements keeps the cops on the ground abreast of his movement. The driver circles back to leave the area.
Got it.
The cop car engages the suspect's car with a pit maneuver, which fails. The suspect has driven himself to a dead end. When he tries making another U-turn, the cop slams into his car. The suspect then drives into the woods. The suspect walks out of the woods to be arrested. A strange old man finds a sad end to the cop chase. But at what cost? The red mini truck bumps into the cop's car. However, when the cop tries to make a traffic stop, the car keeps on going. The police chase him. The cop makes a pit maneuver, stopping the truck. The suspect comes out of his car, an old man. He complies with the cop's orders and gets cuffed. The cops thought all hope was lost in the chase. But is that truly the case?
Minutes ago, it started at Southgate.
The cops chase a motorcyclist in the night. They use a pit maneuver, knocking him off his bike. The suspect then runs on foot, escaping capture. He seems to run faster than he rides. Then he climbs over a fence, but this gives the cops ample time to catch him. While in a hot pursuit, this suspect does what no one expects. It's a tragedy. The suspect rides at extreme speeds, past the speed limit. Cops chase him after he zips past a traffic stop with no registration tag. A few blocks later, he throws a backpack from his bike. He arrives at a gas station and steals the gas ejector from another car to fuel his bike. With a full tank, he rides to a shopping mall in Pasadena. The Pasadena cops quickly apprehend him. This suspect flees in his car, but whatever chases him seems to be invisible. Weird how things turn out. The suspect in a silver SUV breaks quite several traffic laws, going at insane speeds on the road.
And going extremely fast and disregarding traffic laws and going around cars. And this is a car that we've been watching since it was going north.
The suspect parks at a shopping center's garage and runs into the building. No ground cops are chasing the suspect yet, but she runs from the mall towards a residential area. The suspect, a man, hides in a bush. He takes off his jacket and jogs on the sidewalk. He walks towards a cop and peacefully gets arrested. A fatal hug does the most damage as this suspect gets to learn. A cop car rides ahead of a silver car, hindering its path while another cop car comes from being with a grappler. The grappler works, bringing the car to a halt and ending the chase.
He's got long arms there. That's a serious weapon that he just pulled. That's not a handgun. That's a rifle.
Wow.
The cop drives back to pull the car back, while the suspect drives forward to resist the pull. Still, the grappler does its job, keeping the car in place. When the suspect thought he could trust his skills, reality gave him a real-time lesson. The suspect in the black car escapes police pursuit at blinding speeds. However, the driver cannot contend with the speed he is going and begins to lose control of the vehicle. The car crashes into the side of the road's partition, skidding dangerously on the road, almost crashing into a car. The police surround his car. The first suspect jumps out of his and flees on foot, jumping off the road and escaping. The cops catch the other suspects before they jump. The suspect has planned a sinister attack. How will he achieve it, though?
Stop your car, dude. Just let it come to a stop. Okay, pull it over here.
The driver pretends to be totally compliant.
The suspect runs a red light, and when the cop tries to pull him over for a traffic stop, the suspect acts as if his car has an issue. The cop stays back, not leaving his car because something is off about the driver. The suspect drives away. The suspect put his hands out of the car as if he was ready to surrender. Another cop car arrives to back up the cop on sight. The suspect flees, seeing he's outnumbered. He crashes into the front lawn of a home. He runs on foot to escape the cops. Games and reality are vastly different. This suspect learns the hard way. The biker rides at top speeds and switches lanes dangerously close to the cars. He waves at cops, teasing them with the speed at which he's going. He then drives off the road, and his next actions are unpredictable. The suspect gets off his bike and goes to his knees, nauseous from the speed at which he was going. 2 cops on bikes approach him and apprehend him. He's unable to resist. The suspect had thought of his escape, but when it was time, the worst happened. The suspect on his bike rides on a lane for incoming cars at top speed. He is risking his life and the lives of others. He makes a U-turn and drives on the sidewalk to escape the cops. The suspect enters a neighborhood and soon after falls off his bike. He runs on foot, but the cops catch up to him, arresting him. This police chase leads to a weird situation many struggle to understand. The motorcyclist seems to have escaped a police pursuit and has arrived at a deserted dump site in the woods. He parks his bike under a tree and calmly takes off his helmet. Cops in the air capture him changing out of his clothes. Cops march onto the property about to make an arrest. They are unsure if he's armed. For the highlight, this suspect does the unexpected to escape a pursuit. Was it worth it? The cops chase a fleeing motorcyclist who drives recklessly at a high speed. The suspect ditches the ground cops, but the helicopter tracking him shows him riding to the parking lot of a shopping mall, driving into a glass pyramid. The suspect rides into the shopping mall with his bike, endangering innocent lives. Cops chase him on foot. He escapes the mall, throwing the cops off again. He escapes the cops for miles until he is stopped.